Today, Fayette County Public Schools are celebrating a teacher for excellence in STEM education.
Yeah, teacher Nathan Hoskins is an educator with the Eastside Technical Center's aviation program. WKYT's Alexa Minton has more.
Nathan Hoskins started flying back in 1995, and now, nearly 30 years later, he is helping Kentucky students take to the skies.
It's very necessary to start the students at a young age to learn and progress towards an aviation career.
Hoskins was honored in a press conference held by FCPS Monday with the Air and Space Forces Association Teacher of the Year Award for his work at Eastside Technical Center's aviation program.
The program is the students. My success, what I walk away with today, will be the property of the students.
Hoskins started with Fayette County Schools as a bus driver after he received a letter home from one of his children asking for help in the bus garage.
I called the bus garage and said, hey, I know how to fly a plane. Can you teach me how to drive a bus?
For Hoskins, the program is about providing opportunities and career paths that not every student in the district thought was possible.
A lot of students don't have the ability to get into a flight simulator or go to the airport or touch an airplane or be able to do anything, and we provide that at Fayette County.
The honor is reserved for K through 12 teachers who excel in advancing STEM education, something that retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Mark Rowland thinks Hoskins does well.
If you want to talk about enticing students to follow STEM and to follow STEM education, aviation is a perfect example. We're a connected world, and the way we're connected is through aviation.
A mile of highway, when you leave today, you drive a mile, it's going to take you a mile down the road. But a mile of runway will take you anywhere in the world.
In Lexington, Alexa Minton, WKYT.
And we say congratulations. Hoskins received 2 checks for the award, one for winning at the local level, another for winning the honor at the state level. Both of those checks will go towards funding the aviation program.